if you ever run into those where it's like certain songs just feel good to play. They're really easy. It's not like, not that it's really easy. It just feels the motion of it and going through it and playing it it's comforting. It's easy, and it's different than being in your wheelhouse, I would say, because I feel like there's songs that are in my wheelhouse that I can perform really well that aren't necessarily the same feeling. Do you find that?
I have songs that just feel good to my physical body to sing.
Like the way they resonate?
There's the way that they feel. It's almost like a cool down for my vocal. It just feels so, soothing is the perfect word for it. So I would say Tupelo Honey is one of those songs I really enjoy. Nice. And it's not the lyrical content that I'm identifying with. It is the melody and the how the melody sits in the instruments. It's just soothing.
It's enjoyable, and it's not like it's rarer than you would think. I think.
Yeah.
And it's like but don't get me wrong, it doesn't make other songs not as fun. Like, it's fun to play songs that are in your wheelhouse and knock it out of the park, or play a song that like people really enjoy, or
the challenges
all those things,
are fun
or a
too.
song that's your own.
Challenges
and, like, there's
fun.
a lot of things about music that make it fulfilling and rewarding. Mm-hmm. But it's definitely a unique feeling to just play a song that's very comfortable. It's like kind of like you pick up a guitar and you want to play a song and you just naturally gravitate to something that feels good.
Yeah.
Or if you're warming up or warming down your vocals, you probably just want to sing something that feels good, or in the shower, it's different. I guess there's, even as a performer, I find it interesting that there is music that is comfortable to perform. Like, it's comforting to yourself.
Yeah.
And maybe people would think that, like, oh, just playing the guitar in itself is comforting. And sometimes it can be, and it's like with lack of thought of what you're playing. But there also are pieces of music or songs that you try to perform that are less than comforting. Like, they might have awkward reaches or tough chords or something where it's like a challenge or something that you really like anticipate that you're going to have to conquer as you go, or whatever. And
or I know when we're playing live and we have the jam sections of the music, a lot of those sections are unscripted. You know what the bones of it are, the structure of it, but your part per se is unscripted, so you are creating on the spot.
Right.
So that's a completely different use of brain and body.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's like a switch from because I think that performing music uses both sides of the brain simultaneously a lot of times, because you're remembering and you're analyzing, but then...
And you're creating a lot.
But you're also creating a lot, that's what I'm saying, and you're expressing a lot.
Yes.
So I think that if you were to analyze the brain, probably firing in a lot of areas at once.
Yeah.
Yeah. So... but you can also get to be where songs like Old Habit, and it's like almost
where
like
you could do it without thinking about it.
Where you're almost performing it without thinking about it, and it's like, I like to that's another reason I like to keep the set list fresh every night, because it's, it's just another way to engage. And it's a way to engage the audience too, I think, because something unexpected. But, to this song, Bruce Springsteen,
I love Bruce Springsteen.
One of your faves, for sure.
Yeah.
And
I was
another songwriter, like, back-to-back Lou Reed now.
Well, he's Bruce another Springsteen. Verbose person. We were talking about that last week. So he's right up there with, especially with this song, with Lou Reed and Bob Dylan, and smashing them words in. I even nixed a few of the words because they felt awkward in my mouth. It's not the way that I would speak them, and the way he breathes the song is different than my performance of it too. It's
I like
really good though.
And his ability to tell a story for the working man, blue collar. He's very relatable to anybody that doesn't have a lot of money, probably, or anybody that's worked a blue collar job. And even if you're I think
90% of humans on the globe right now could get in line with a lot of the lyrics of this song. Like, you're working hard and you're trying to put your money away, but your debts are larger than your income.
Yeah, exactly.
That's super relatable.
And he's like, and in this case, he's going out to do a job for the mob.
That's shady. So. It's shady. And you know what? I have often thought about, what is this song? What is the meaning of this song? And for me, because I'll take the story and I'll make a story surrounding the story. They all have it's a backstory and everything.
Yeah.
And for me, this is might be his last hurrah with his girl. He's like, hey, I took everything I had. We're going to go out on the town this one last time because I don't know if I'm coming back from this job I'm about to do.
That's funny. I look at it completely different. It's funny. So
How did you look at it?
I look at it like he's going to go do the job, and then afterwards he wants to be relieved of the memory of the job, or whatever he has to do is weighing heavy on him already before he even does it, and he wants to meet his girl afterwards to forget about it. And that's why he's telling her to dress up, look pretty, because I want you to come out to Atlantic City, and I want you to like kind of like get my mind right again.
I was thinking they're gonna have a last hurrah because he's like, I'm not sure because of the chorus. Everything dies. That's a fact. Mm-hmm. Maybe everything that dies someday comes back. He's like, maybe I'll be back. I don't know. That's just kind of how I took it, and I don't know what Bruce meant by it. Yeah,
it's definitely ambiguous. You know, I mean, it could be looked at a lot of different ways. You know, and
I think that's great about.
I think a lot of this story to me is like him making peace with whatever this job is he has to do, and the way that he's making peace with that, in my mind anyway, is that he's gonna get with his girl after the fact, and
or maybe.
Make it right.
Or maybe
remember why he's doing it.
Maybe what he's doing is he is confessing to his girl, this is what I'm about to do, but I'm going to make it up to you by taking you out. He's trying to appease her.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Who knows? Bruce knows.
I like the way that I think of it. I'm going to stick with it.
Okay, I'm going to probably stick with mine too. I mean, I've told myself the story a lot.
Yeah, me too. And that's the beautiful thing about music, is that you can view it different ways and still
it's not
be
wrong,
right,
yeah.
Everybody can be right, like, because it really, and the thing that I like too is that it could just be one sentence in a song that strikes you different, and it might not even have the meaning that it has in the song, but it might strike you a way that you like and relate to, and then you take that as your own. Like it could be, the song itself could have a completely different meaning, but you hold on to that one sentence and make it your own. So yeah,
I like to leave our songs kind of open-ended that way too, so that they can be relatable to a lot of people in different ways. I don't want to define what a song should mean to someone.
Yeah.
I can give the backstory, and I can give the genesis of a song. I do like saying, hey, this inspired this song, but a lot of times a thought or a piece of art or somebody else's music will actually inspire the beginning thought of a song, and from there it's like a little seed that blossoms into something completely different. So like, I don't want to define for somebody else what that growth should look like when I didn't even have the idea of the finish of it from the beginning.
And I do like how Bruce he doesn't just come out and say, well, I'm broke and this town sucks. He puts it a lot more poetically and tells the story. So that's really good. I enjoy that.
Yeah, same. Well, I like a lot of Bruce, which if you haven't been with us a while, I've told on myself before that I was an unwitting Bruce Springsteen fan. I didn't know that I was a fan. And you kept introducing me to these songs, and I go, who is this? I really like this song. And you would say, well, that's Bruce Springsteen. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, and they started to add up until I started buying you albums.
Then I said, I think I might be a Bruce Springsteen fan.
Babe, I think by that point, I was like, yeah, I think you might be.
I think one of my favorites of his that we did a shout out for, which I'd like to revisit that one sometime. I think it's time for a retro of it, is Downbound Train. Yeah.
Time for a retro.
I really love that song. It's one of those, like, you say it's good, it feels good to play. That's another one of the ones that it's soothing to listen to for me.
Yeah.
Like, so in the performance of it and in being inside of that music, performing it is a little different than listening to it. So it's really soothing to spaces in my mind that go untouched. So,
I get you.
Thanks, Bruce.
What a gift we have for
on the off chance
music.
He's listening to the shout out chat.
Yeah, right.
Which we're trying a thing. We're not sure. We don't know all of the algorithmic bits, but we're trying, and we want you to be able to watch the Sunday shout out, the musical part of it, without feeling burdened or like you must listen to the chat. So we are trying a thing where we're giving you a little bit of chat, but then the extended chat for those of you that want to join us for that, because I don't want you to feel like you have to.
Well, it's not even that they have to, but the fact of the matter is, like, a lot of people want to hear the songs, and then they want to hear the songs over and over again, and you might not want to listen to the chat over and over again. So to playlist it and listen to all of our songs, we're considering separating the chat
completely
from the back end,
music,
from the music, and seeing how it goes that way. But we want you guys to know that you'll need to click over to
a separate video
for those of you that want the chat and the discussion. And I know a lot of people have said keep the discussion going. We want to talk about it, we enjoy it, we like this, we like a lot of different aspects of it. So, and we like doing it because it brings us into touch with each other, because, like, obviously a lot of the stuff we have never talked about before. Like, the meaning of songs and stuff like that.
And our different stories that we tell ourselves about the songs.
Yeah, and it's also great. We love hearing your stories in the comments about, like, how you were exposed to these artists and your feelings of the music and the gear and all this different stuff. So
your memories attached to the songs. That's everything that you guys leave for us in the comments is super meaningful to us, and we read them and reread them a lot of the time. So
it's encouragement, because when you're like, we're doing it for the love of the music, for sure, as we talked about in our last little talk a little bit.
Also, part of what we hope to do is create a community among you that are the viewers, that you would enjoy speaking with each other, even separate from us, about the music content and like you just said, the things you outlined. We see that all the time.
It's starting to pick up more where people are commenting on each other's posts,
which I think is so beautiful. I think it's kind
of like hanging out a lot before the concert or after the concert. I think that's really cool, and it's something that I miss in today's world, is the hustle and bustle where you get the $100 ticket, you can only afford to go once a year, so, like, you're kind of already stressed that you're paying that much money for a ticket anyway.
Not to mention the $1 billion bottle of water.
You're working right up to the last minute to get there. They don't open the doors. There's no lot scene. You're kind of just going right in, catching the concert. You do see some people ahead of time sometimes, and you can chat and hang out, like out of some recent concerts we went to. But a lot of the 80s, 90s, 2000s concert scene of going early, half a day early, and hanging out in the lot, and seeing the people you haven't seen since the last time your favorite band was on tour. A lot of that's kind of gone by the wayside. But
I never really had that experience. I didn't do any concert going prior to hanging out with you.
How beautiful is it that now, like, you don't even have to, you can actually interact without having to do it.
From across the globe.
What we lose, we gain in a different way, and I think that's such is life, So we're trying to find new ways to navigate, and we're hoping that, that other people out there, rather than just giving up on the music, find new ways to navigate as well.
Right. So as we're implementing changes, we also want your input. So if you're enjoying the change with the separate video and you're finding it easy to get to, let us know that. If you're not, also let us know that, but be kind, because we're just trying a new thing, and we can always just revert.
And at some point, I think that, like in the whole, I think that, even as we get busier and busier on the road, like we're coming up to a really busy season of like 11 shows in 12 days or 11 shows in 10 days or something like that.
It's a lot.
And we're recording ahead for some of the shout outs. The shout out is something that we're dedicated to and been doing for a long time. So
almost 10 years. We are coming up on a very significant anniversary, 10-year anniversary.
Indeed.
It's coming right up.
That's exciting. But I was getting to that, at some point the formats may change as far as, we're thinking about going to possibly like some type of membership thing where people can talk to each other better and be able to have, the trade-off would be, and we don't know how to really do it and navigate this, and we're trying to find, that's why we're exploring now, but the concept has come to us. A lot of people want to download the audio portion of the songs. So one way we're thinking of tackling that is to have a membership section where people could hear extended chats, maybe not the whole, like maybe the whole, the song will always be free, the shout out, like that's always been a thing that we've wanted to do. But and then maybe a portion of the chat, and the people that are really committed to the full length chats, maybe longer chats, because we try to keep it short, and it's tough because we got a lot to talk about. We're passionate about what we do. Very passionate about what we do. But then, there'd be also other benefits to the membership that we're thinking about doing. Like, they'd get the extended chats and maybe, downloads of certain songs be available. And then
we've talked about doing live streams
and then,
too.
live streams available
again,
just for members, basically in the shout out format, where
mm-hmm.
they can tune in and get, mm-hmm. extra. So it'd be extra content, but it's a way for us to try to manage it all and make it make sense, because when you're doing 12 shows even in a month's time, even though this is just going to be over 2 weeks, we've probably got about 20 shows this month, and then on top of that, the recording 4 or 5 shout outs and chats, it can take up a lot of time. So we're just trying to figure out the best way to navigate it all as we go. So we hope that you guys will bear with us, and if we make missteps, that if you help us cue us in, the chats are too long, or I like the chats, or you should separate them, I really like to listen to music by themselves, we're open to the suggestions. We're not
we're not static
we're not
at all.
closed-minded, obviously, and
unless you're mean. If you're mean, just shut me down.
Right. So, let us know, and we'll see you next week with another Sunday shout out.
And chat.
Hey friends, Ashley of Sugar Lime Blue here. I wanted to draw your attention to something we've started doing on our Facebook. We've been featuring one of our special Sugar Lime Blue tie-dye t-shirts weekly. Here's an example of one of them. You guys seem to be enjoying this, so we're going to keep it up for a little while. So make sure you're looking for us on Facebook with our special weekly Sugar Lime Blue tie-dye t-shirts.